Welcome to the Wind Down, where we come together every Wednesday midweek week to wind down. Together we laugh, bond, heal, grow. It truly is a sisterhood. We learn so much together, and everyone always has something to give, and we just pour into each other. So thank you all for being here tonight. And tonight's topics are: how do you receive love? Is the way you receive love healthy? What do you need to unlearn for a better future? Are you ready to receive love? All right. Sandra, you had your hand up. How do you receive love, Sandra?
Um, well, I think my receiving of love is typically like acts of kindness, or acts of service, like doing things to help me out is usually how I receive love because I'm kind of like a busybody. I'm always on the go. So, like, I'm not really too big on like gifts and things. I definitely want like communication and the person to like have something to offer that's beneficial. Like, for instance, I'm a single mom of three. So, my schedule is I wake up every day, five something in the morning, got to get kids to school. If I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, I will hope that every now and again, and this ain't got to be an everyday thing, but, be like, hey, babe, you could stay in the bed. I'll take the kids to school this morning, type of thing. It's things like that, like simple, small things like think about taking out dinner and already have an idea of maybe what could be made for dinner or what I'm saying, you notice we need something around the house, you stopped at the at the grocery store, at the store and picked it up. Things like that are important for me to make like the days and the flow of things better. Do I think the way that I receive love is healthy? I would say so, as long as their intent of why they're doing it is a healthy intent. Because if you're doing it with um, ulterior ulterior motives, then the way that I'm receiving love may not be healthy because I think it's genuine or I think it's truly who you are. And maybe you're just doing it for show. Maybe you're just doing it for attention. Maybe you're just doing it for a specific outcome, maybe for me to do something for you or something of that nature. So I would say for the most part, my way of receiving love would be healthy. Um, what do I need to unchange for the future? Stop making motherfuckers comfortable. So excuse my French, but stop making people comfortable. Because I have a tendency of like loving so hard, loving so genuinely, loving so quickly that people get comfortable. And then once they get comfortable, when I start making demands or saying that I want this or want that or looking for this or have an expectation, then it becomes a problem because they've already gotten comfortable. So I have to pay attention to how comfortable I'm making someone and making sure that even though they're comfortable, they're not crossing boundaries or I'm not enabling behavior that I'm not going to be okay with later. So that's something that I definitely have been paying more attention to and like my attachment to people in general. I've been working with that too because I notice like I'll be quick to talk to somebody every day or whatnot, and then like it'll start off that way, and then eventually I'll be like, well, damn, do we really have to talk every day? So I'm being more mindful of my attachment to people, what I give, how much of my energy is given and received. And then the last one is, am I ready to receive the love that I'm asking for? I would say yes, I'm ready. However, part of me is a little bit cautious just because, like, for me, I feel like anytime I get excited about someone and I think it may be something good, it turns out to be crap. So like part of me low key in my head be like downplaying it and trying to make it seem like it ain't nothing or not getting my hopes up too high because I don't want to be let down. But I think overall I'm definitely ready and open for a relationship. I just feel like there's certain things that need to be established or quote unquote connect in order to make a healthy relationship work. Otherwise, I feel like it's just us constantly going against one another type of thing. And then I'm gonna feel like in the end I shouldn't really be loving and I'm gonna make myself unavailable and not really pursue love. So I'm just being real cautious this time, like taking my time, really getting to know someone, like really being honest with myself and saying, is this really what I want? Is this really what I need? Is this person good for me? Could, we grow together, or is this going to be something that's short term and for right now it's cool, but in the long run, it ain't going to pan out. I feel like I said a whole lot, like I was giving a lecture. All right.
I mean, Sandra, I'm over here looking at this laptop like, well, damn, Sandra. I mean, fill me in, why don't you?
What you
Because
mean?
you touched on a lot over here. Now you hit a lot of key points there, and I'm not sure if everyone is aware that be happening, that they have unhealthy attachments and don't respect people's boundaries. Um, and I'm like that you said that you had starting to be aware that you allow people to get comfortable with you fast. And I told you how you start things is very important, and you have to be sure that you establish that boundary once someone crosses it. But you don't like the fact that they even crossed it in the first place. So I get that though, because it is exhausting always having to reiterate or having to explain or something that probably would be kind of, you may think it's kind of like common sense too. Like, well, why would you do that in
Right.
the first place?
Right.
Mhm. Huh? Why would you? Okay, but since you did it, let me tell you, I don't like that. But most people will rebut when you say that you don't like something, they'll rebut with something else. But no, I said I
Mhm.
don't like it. So
Right.
it
It becomes
shouldn't
a
be done.
tit for tat type of scenario.
Yeah, it shouldn't be done if I don't like it though. That's all. What the hell? I said I don't like it. It's for my preference right now. Now, if I'm saying I don't like that you smack, we may not just go and work out. If you really want to know, I don't deal with people who masticate. They're just not my thing. Hey,
Me either.
yeah, I
Jesus,
just
that
can't
hurt
do it.
my nerves.
Yeah, it's the biggest pet. It's probably one of the biggest pet peeves I have. So I already know that it's just not going to cut it. But when it comes to my personal boundaries, they should be. They're going to have to be respected. We're not going to work. But it's important to understand your attachment style. It's important to understand why you're attached to somebody. And you know what? A lot of things you spoke on, Sandra, I may have to start being a bit more aware of by myself because I do know that I track a lot of people, and then it usually kind of goes into this like crush on a teacher thing, and then I have to let them know, like, hey, that's never going to happen. And then it goes into this passive aggressive trades for a while until eventually I'm no longer willing to cater to the other person's feelings because for one, why are you coming at me like that? You already know how I am. You already know that's never going to happen. Okay. But I'm just naturally sweet like that. No, I'm not flirting with you. No, you don't have a chance. My God.
Right.
Yeah.
That's part of my audiobook that I want to release called Sweet Nothings because I feel like people misconstrue people's natural characteristics and who they are, and they sometimes take it as, oh, this person's coming on to me. Oh, this person wants me. No, I don't. That's just naturally how I talk. I'm just using enduring, how you say it? Enduring words. Is it
Enduring.
enduring? Yeah, endearing words and like little pet names and things, but that doesn't mean I want you. That just means I'm sweet.
Yes. And then they usually step over that line, and then you got to tell them to go back over the line. And it's usually a problem. But then they'll
That
usually give a consequence of cutting you off because you established a boundary or something. What's with people punishing people all the time? I don't want to be
mhm.
punished
You
just
gotta
because.
learn how to stand on their boundaries too, because some people will set boundaries and then they break them and then wonder why they're back where they at. Like, if this is your boundary, stand on that, because if you break it with that person and then they're allowed to come back, they just won't keep doing it. So, if that's your boundary and they cross it, cut them off. Like, because if you keep continuously letting them come back, they not the idiot. you are.
Mm. Well, I think that also can come from people pleasing, especially if someone gives you a consequence for setting a boundary or gives you a pushback for you setting a boundary, right?
Well,
Hey,
let they ass go. I mean, you have boundaries for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe
it's
everyone
boundaries,
don't have.
and
Mhm.
unless they're making a great effort to like not cross your boundary, like it's something you say you don't like, and they're putting in an effort to like change that, and you can actually see it and it's consistent, and they're not intentionally doing it. I feel like that's fine. I feel like effort works for me because not everybody can make a complete 360, but if you putting in the effort, I feel like that's okay. But if they just keep crossing your boundary and don't give a damn, like why do you keep letting them back in? Let them go.
Oh yeah, now that I'm with you when you're right. Absolutely. No, and especially if it's blatant. Like, okay, so now you're playing in my face. Nah, I don't. I'm not in the business of getting played with. Okay, if I want to play, I have the Xbox. I have a lot of games to play. I don't need to be played with. That's for sure. But I do know it could also come from not necessarily people pleasing, but like I said, someone usually will reply with a rebuttal to your own boundary. Like, hey, I said I don't want you to do this, but you did it anyway, or you keep doing this, and then, oh, I'll stop doing this, but I'm not gonna do nothing else either. That's a consequence. That's a
Yeah, calling petty betties. That's what I call them, petty betties. They
yeah.
mad because
Now
they
it's
can't
the
get their way,
punishment.
so they start being petty. And
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
oh,
saying.
well,
Now you're
because you
being
did this,
punished.
y'all gonna do this. Shut up.
No, I'm just saying that's usually what happens with me when I set a boundary with somebody. They usually, oh yeah, oh okay, well you know what? Now that you know what, I'm just not going to do woo 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 because I don't know how you gonna feel if I ever do woo woo because of woo woo. Like what? What the hell anything to do with all the other stuff? All I did was say, hey, this one thing you just did, I didn't like that. Please don't do that. I'm not comfortable with what you just did. Please don't do that. And then the person will usually rebut with me, argue with me about my own personal boundary, my own personal space. If I don't want this to be done, it shouldn't be done. But then I get the consequence, or I say punishment of, oh, well, now I'm never going to receive nothing from this person that's a surprise or anything, or that's sweet or thoughtful because they punished me from establishing a boundary 2 weeks ago. You know, especially mostly people vocalize, oh, well, since you said that, I'm not going to do this because I'm not sure. Like, hold on, whoa. Wait, back up. That sound like you just gaslit the hell out of me, and I feel like I'm being punished. So you got to be careful because I don't want nobody arguing with me about my boundary. It's a boundary for a reason. I usually have established a boundary after being wounded by whatever I'm setting a boundary on. You know, so maybe that's what we can talk about next one now, or at the sit down Sunday, boundaries. How to establish boundaries and what to do when your boundaries are crossed. Because I'm just now getting out of being a people pleaser, and I'm finally becoming a boundary setter. And I tell you, it's a beautiful, terrible journey. People are used to, you being a bigger person all the time, or being a people pleaser. Guess what? They have a hard time with you setting boundaries now. Now you're the difficult one, the complicated one.
And that
No,
comes from us letting it go on for too long. Because once you set those boundaries, then they know they can't have their way. But them the type of people you don't want in your life anyway. So
okay. Listen, I have had to learn to love a lot of people from a distance. Like, yeah, I can see you. I won't have no problem seeing you, but in only certain environments. Okay. Because I see now, I mean, you can't really be around each other more than 2 3 hours without you having something crazy to say to me. So, you know what? You stay over there. I'm over here, and let's do this thing. Okay. Because I'm not about to keep missing out on events or things I want to do because a certain person is there. You know, but if the energy is that bad, no, I won't come. You know, and that can come from childhood too. That's why I don't give my child don't want to do something. I'll have them force them to do it. He don't want to go and give you a hug. He don't want to give you a hug. He shouldn't be forced to give you a hug because you want to give him a hug. I don't think that's right. So I think it's important to give your to for children to have personal choices and be able to express themselves and have power over their body and things that they want to do from a young age, so they won't become a people pleaser. Because I tell you, it's been very hard becoming a boundary setter from a people pleaser. It's so much pushback. But all right, let's move on with the topics. Yes, Sandra, you answered like all the topics at once. But that was amazing though, because you touched on a lot of things that I think we all can relate to for
Well,
sure.
thank you.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Have to know what you need and want out here. Alia, are you back, Alia? And Ebby, did you have anything you wanted to add to the topic? Right now, we're still on the first topic of how do you receive love?
Mm, mine is simple. Just if you checking on me, making sure I do everyday stuff because I suck at that, like eating. I'm getting a call. I'll be right back, y'all.
Sure, no problem. We have been busy tonight. Alia, are you here? But I can answer. How do I receive love? A lot of how you said explained it to Sandra was nice. Like you were saying, you have kids. You want, every now and then a person can, you know, change up your daily routine, and they can. Hey, I'll take this. I got the kids' clothes out. I'm making breakfast today. Like that. You take a load off. As long as
Right.
you
Lighten
consider
the
it.
load some for real. Because that's the hardest part about surviving is your day to day. So when you got somebody by your side that kind of taps in and makes those things that may normally stress you out just a little bit easier, you'd be like, well, thanks, babe. Like, you know what I mean? Like the day don't seem so rough. Don't seem like so much to go through when you got somebody that's kind of going through it with you and helping you through some of it.
Absolutely, I call that like consideration, considerate, thoughtful. And I definitely want someone that's thoughtful. Like you said, it could be out shopping and they see something you may not like, or they know that the house needs and they get it. Absolutely.
And I think that's the reason why I'm asking for it is because that's what I do. I'm the type of person where I will, like when my girl got her job, I'd iron her clothes, have her lunch packed, make sure the alarm was set, hey babe, lay down, I got the kids, you get some sleep, you got work in a few hours or however many hours, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm always thinking ahead and like how can I make my spouse's day better, easier, That's a natural for me. So I kind of expect the same in return. Someone being that thoughtful and being like, hey babe, I thought about you. I know this is your favorite cookie and I know you had a rough day, so I got your favorite cookies and your favorite drink. Or, I know you had a hard day at work. Let me massage your feet or take care of the kids for the evening where they don't bug you the whole night. Just little simple stuff. It matters. It goes a long way.
It truly, truly does. Why are you single? That's some wife stuff right there, honey. Now,
That's what
what
I'm
you
trying to
need?
figure out. I think I'm doing something wrong or I'm picking the wrong people because I swear I've been doing this since the age of 17. When I met my baby father, he had kids. I stepped in at the age of 18 years old, was helping cook, clean, take the kids to school, helping them with homework. I was like raised, I was groomed this way. So for me, it's natural. I don't mind saving money. I'm strategic. I'm like the brains of the operation. I just need someone that's willing to trust me and I can trust them and we just soar. That's all I need is someone that knows who they are, knows where they're going, has no problem articulating it, is a person of their word, and let's do it. That's if I get that, oh, y'all gonna see us on the news. We're gonna be famous. We're gonna be somebody and Clyde or something. Cause I already know I got it. I just need somebody that got it too.
You better say it, Sandra. So you know you got it. You just need somebody that got it too. Listen here. You been saying not speaking nothing but facts here tonight. I tell you, okay, where do y'all find another me? That see? Jeesh. But then you know what? We're usually friends. You know how many great people that I have as friends? If we think our maybe one of our
But
friends may.
why? Why are they just your friend? Is there something missing that allows you not to look at them in that manner? Or are they not checking quite all the boxes that you want them to check? It's got to be something if they're such great people that makes you choose to keep them in that friend zone and not explore options outside of that.
Valid points there for sure. I would say with most, I'm just not certain if they even go that route. And they like women or not. Uh, and it's a possibility of don't want to ruin a friendship either. It's definitely a risk. I don't have a big circle of friends anymore, but I definitely been going out more lately, and so I've run into a lot more people than I have in the past 5 years. And then through other friends as well. So that's also kind of tough because I've had situations that almost ended my friendship because I connected them. You see what I mean? So most of the great women I've met over the past month and a half are through other friends, right? And I'm like, well, damn, if they my friend would thought that me and this other person would have been a good match. They probably would have already said something by now. And I also don't want to seem like every interaction has to lead to that either, right? So I'm still people this scene and just flowing and being myself. And you know, I guess if it's going to happen, it will. I'm open to it. I met some great people, some great women over, especially this weekend. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful women. You know, but the environment didn't really allow for a whole lot of personal conversation. It was loud, music, people eating and drinking. It's kind of like a
Mhm.
party scene. So,
Mhm.
but
Couldn't get too close and personal and get too much diving into all that extra like you would normally probably would want to.
yes, and so right now I'm just taking it day by day with that too. I'm not really dating right now. I feel that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I haven't given up. I'm just not being very intentional about it right now. And
Mhm.
I don't have any like bad residue or anything or like, oh, this person just did this. So, I'm still, no, I'm okay. I'm actually proud of myself that I'm making better decisions, that I'm realizing what I don't want and don't need much sooner. And I speak it and acknowledge it much sooner than I has. So I'm actually proud of myself. I have not been wasting time with people.
I hear that. It's almost like you kind of realize that the pain that you're putting that you're going through, you're putting yourself through. Because I know for me, like I said, I hold on to relationships that I shouldn't hold on to. I know I'm not happy, but I'll keep trying till I feel like I've tried and I can't try no more. And half the time that just makes the damage 10 times worse. So it's easier when you're able to say, you know what, hey, this person just isn't giving me what it is I'm looking for. I've expressed it, nothing's changing, there's no change in behavior. So it's time to move on and let bygones be bygones and just accept it. And for me, I think the hardest part was is me caring about the other person's feeling. Like I didn't want to hurt them, but in the meantime, I'm hurting myself. So now I'm learning to put myself first. And it sucks to hurt someone else's feelings, but at the same time, you don't want to leave yourself so damaged that when someone truly does come into your life that does want to love you and be that person that you've always needed or wanted, you're not able to receive them. Like Ebony was saying, you're not even ready for it because you're so badly damaged from you allowing people to hurt you.
or you continuously hurting yourself because you didn't get out when you knew that you wasn't happy and you sacrificed your feelings for the sake of someone else's who wasn't even, especially if you come to them and say, hey, listen, I'm trying to make this work, but I know in order for us to work, this needs to be addressed and yada, yada, yada. If the person hasn't, don't have the comprehension, because comprehension, I started to understand a lot of people don't always have that comprehension either. Like you done said it several times in different ways, and it's like this person just not getting it, or maybe it's a lack of willingness or value. But no one wants to keep repeating themselves. Well, no one wants to feel like they're nagging. No one wants to feel like they're sounding like a broken record or invalidated, unheard. Right? So it's a disservice to ourselves to keep having to tell someone how to treat you. I do think sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you and try to love you. That's fine. But where is the breaking point for that though? When this person's just not getting it and they just keep praying, they keep making the same mistakes, they keep crossing your boundaries.
Right.
And it gotta come a point where you say, hey, enough is enough. No, I know what I need. This is not what I need. And it's fine. I'm okay with cutting off this connection because I realize this is not for me. And that's okay. But I've been there too, Sandra, to where you stay much longer than you should have and wanted to for the sake of the other person's feelings, or what they was probably going through. Like, no, this person just lost this, or no, they're having a hard time already. This wouldn't be a good time. You're trying to be considerate.
Yeah, I understand that part too. And like I said, that's why I think communication is so key in a relationship. And it can't be just the person talking. You really have to freaking listen and study and absorb what they're saying, pay attention to them. Because a lot of people tell you about themselves, but if you're not paying attention, your eyes ain't open, you will be fooled. So like I'm learning like more and more like I can't just listen or just talk to talk. Like I really have to like listen and people quote unquote tell on themselves. If you just sit back and listen and watch, sometimes you'll learn so much about someone and be able to make a decision that that person isn't for you simply because you took the time to not be so wrapped up in the person in the moment and how it's making you feel and actually like take a step back and a breath and like evaluate the whole situation. Because I think about that now that I reevaluate my past relationships, I had so many red flags and so many things that I skipped over. And it was said, it was shown, but I ignored it for whatever reason. I can't tell you. Could have been love in some situations, could have been just wanting to be loved and saying, nobody's perfect, which is true. Nobody's perfect. But there's some people out there that just clearly are not for you and would test the theory every time. So it's kind of like learn from your mistakes. Like I'm learning like certain characteristics. If they're argumentative, and we can't just have conversation with understanding and acceptance between both people's views, then I don't think we can be cool. Because that means later on, when serious things come up or those difficult conversations come up, you're going to either be a petty Betty or you're going to be argumentative, and then the real problem is never going to be solved. So that lets me know we don't even need to further this.
Honey, you have been hitting the nail on a lot of stuff. Geez, you said if they're argumentative, that mean later on, especially if it's a serious thing. Geez, can you imagine you legit have something serious to talk about, and but you know the person you're about to talk to is about not going to receive it well, not going to probably even add to give anything that can add or fix the situation. If anything, they're going to make it much harder. no comprehension. And guess what? Like you said, the problem not going to be solved. You're going to be the only one trying to fix it. It's a problem that takes both people to fix, though. Because if not, you're going to keep repairing it and keep repairing it. It's not really a fix, right? Jeez.
Right. It's just a temporary bandage. But then once that bandage gets ripped off, boy, it's bleeding all over again. You feel it and it hurts.
But you knew it was coming eventually, though. So you're not even shocked. You're just disappointed.
Facts. And I think that's too another important thing is not letting potential get in the way of things. Because sometimes I think I want more for people that I know or get to know or love or care about than they want for themselves. People are only going to do what they want to do. So I could tell you all day long, lady, I want this for you, but until you want it for you and you're willing to take whatever steps is necessary to make those things happen for you, it's not going to happen. And I can push all I want, I can influence all I want, I could try to love you more, I could try to do all these things, but it's not going to matter. It's only going to be when you're ready, when you want it. So a lot of times if you're seeing a potential in somebody and they're not really showing you that drive and that ambition that they believe in themselves as much as you believe in them, you need to exit stage right, homie, because you about to spend a lot of time trying to build up potential that's never gonna come because they don't necessarily want it. You want it more than they want it. I've learned that too.
Going into someone's dreams that they can't even see. Woo!
Facts.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, Ebony, is Ebony still here? Aaliyah, you here? I feel like it's just me and you this live. Like, I feel so weird, like I'm just taking over the live. My bad.
No, no, no. It's all good. I think we've been having a great rapport back and forth. It's okay. And Ali just came back maybe 3 minutes ago. No worries. Abby said that
Yeah,
she'll be back. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was about to ask why she left, but I'm gonna mind my business because I always say for another day or after this conversation is done, being publicized. But you're fine, Sandra. I can share the platform. I'm not one of those complainers, so it's cool. I could wait. I
Okay,
got
my
all night.
bad. Maybe because like I feel like real passionate about relationships, maybe because I really want love and I'm really, really like I dream about being married and I already have my dance picked out that I want to dance with my father. Like they laugh and joke and say they gonna be skeletons when I get married. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's just not working for me. But I don't know if it's just the generation we live in where people just ain't built the same no more or what it is, but I'm struggling out here in these streets when it comes to the dating realm. And I don't know what the issue is, but I'm confused in a mug.
I mean, after hearing you speak so much tonight, you definitely have what it takes for a healthy, successful marriage. Uh, I'm not. What is it? Physicals? What's your? Do you have a type? Maybe it's your location too. I know where I live. My wife most 98% chance she's not where I'm located.
It could be location because Killeen, Texas blows chunks in the dating pool, bro. It is like nothing good out here. The girls are thirsty. They just throwing their coochie out there. Like the men is thirsty. Like it's just bad. Nobody got no morals, no values. Nobody using no common sense. Nobody really trying to get nowhere out here. Everybody just playing with each other out here. And I'm like, where's the serious people at? I'm trying to build an estate, get $250,000 life insurance policies, have a will, travel the world when we 50, 60, 70 in RVs and stuff. Where are these people at? Can you bring them to me, Lord? Because I'm waiting.
Okay? Geez, maybe we need to create a vision board or something because maybe we can see it. It can happen faster and we can believe it more. Because I tell you, the dating pool is filled tea. All right? But I'm going to get back into my speed dating events very, very soon. It's just been so many events this past month. I mean, even this weekend is Mother's. Mother's Day weekend. So next weekend I reckon I can host a online speed dating event.
Okay. I'm nervous about dating though.
Understand, rightfully so. I mean, just as beautiful as love is just as scary.
Facts.
In love there's no guarantee, but when I do miss like being in love with someone though, and just having that person that you think of when you wake up and you go to sleep, and that person you connect with more than anyone, someone you talk to every day, and you
Do
look
you feel
forward
like that
to.
love actually still exists though? Like it sounds like a fairy tale, don't it? Where you feel their touch and you get goosebumps, they want to gaze into your eyes, the conversation just feels so connected all the time. Every time you speak, you just feel like you don't even be near the person, but you feel so close. Like you're so excited when you get their messages. Like that's what I think real love's supposed to feel like, but it don't seem like that kind of love really exists anymore. That real deep, authentic, like love, like I got you through the rain, the snow, the sleet, the sunny days, like all of it. I don't feel like people really love like that no more. It's temporary, like instant gratification type of love. Like, what can you do for me right now? Nobody's really thinking like, Imma say I do, and 15 years from now, we still gonna be the happiest we were when we first met. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Feels like a fairy tale.
I mean, did it ever exist? But I'll tell you what. I see your hand is up. I'll be able to come into you. No worries. It's crazy because earlier I was just messaging a friend that I met on Xbox. She's a pretty good 2K player. She's a good shooter. I call her Boom. And we got this little thing that when I asked her about her boyfriend, or is that her husband? Probably it's her husband, Mr. Boom, right? And when I went to go message her today, because her birthday is on the 13th. When I messaged her today, asked her if she had any birthday plans. The previous message that I had on there was about how I looked up to her and her husband's relationship because you can see their happiness in all their pictures. You can tell that they're genuinely happy with each other, and it's been like that for years with them, right? So I'd asked her, like, what is it that keeps you two together? I genuinely want to know. I'm dating right now, and I really want me and this woman to work out, you know. And she said, well, for one, it started with chemistry, and after that, we just genuinely are the best of buddies, and we always want to make sure that we are enjoying each other and are happy, right? Welcome back, Abby. Welcome back. So, from what she's saying and what's been helping her marriage stay healthy and happy is a natural chemistry with someone and allowing that person to be themselves without you impeding on it with your trauma or your biasness. And they allow the same for you. Now, I'm certain they annoy each other here and there. They probably have something, a quirk or something about themselves that the person may not particularly like. But due to the respect that they have for each other, they don't make it something becomes that creates tension between each other, right? So
Right? It's like they accepted each other for who they are at that point, and they just love each other regardless, and that bond and
exactly,
chemistry is there.
exactly. You see, so um, that right there, I see is a good recipe for their marriage. And I mean, maybe that's a good formula to follow, though. Is hey, make sure you have natural chemistry with this person, nothing that's forced, coerced, or I guess occasionally brought. Okay, and keep respect for one another, and figure out: do you actually like this person? Do you like how they handle conflict? Do you like their thought process? Are you okay with how they live their life? You know, because if not, it's gonna be nothing but conflicts all the time, and you're gonna be trying to change this person. They can be trying to change you, or no. Usually, it's one person that's hey, another person's just still trying to be themselves. So, and guess gotta get to getting finding somebody who you genuinely like, can say that you can deal with them in their daily activities and with their actual personality. Okay, perhaps that's the best recipe. Because if not, it's going to be a lot of I's. Well, I do, and this is how and it's a lot of and I don't understand that with dating or being in a relationship. It's not an I, it's a we, right? So you usually will handle things like that, but because you're in a relationship, you may need to be handling things a little differently. Or maybe you need to be with someone who had a conflict similar to you, right?
Yeah. And something else that
Because
I think is important is just time. Because what you just stated, you're not going to get that in just a month of time. That's something that you got to actually work at and genuinely be 100% in and getting to know them and making things work. And like Ebony was saying, setting boundaries and sticking to them with each other, maintaining a certain expectation of how to conduct yourselves with each other. And I think that only comes through time. If you don't have no time in it, you're not really going to know. You're not going to know that in a month.
absolutely, I think in Mary J. Blige have a song not like that. Was that Mr. Wrong? A love like this wasn't built overnight or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Sandra. Alia, you had your hand up for a while. Apologies, honey. Go on. You had something to say, Alia?
Yeah, I do. So to piggyback off what Sandra said a little second ago, was is there any loyalty, love out there, and such not whatnot? And honestly, it exists. I'm one of those people that are loyal to a T. However, I'm not going to jeopardize my loyalty with somebody who is trifling. So it sucks to say that there are people who are genuinely loyal to a fault and are willing to go ride or die for their partner. However, the trifling people have taken so much advantage of that. It now makes it harder for anybody to open up emotionally and show it in a secure way, without making it seem like they're the bad guy. Uh, my first, how can I put this? It's not a romantic way, but it is still a connection in itself. Um, my first sign of you can't give your loyalty to anybody was definitely with like my relatives, aka my cousins. You know, um, I don't know about you guys, but if you saw a woman hit your male cousin, how I was always brought up by my father and my mother was, that's your family. You don't let nobody do that. Like, thin line between love and hate. Della Reese coming out that house saying, "You can't hit a woman, but I can," type thing. That's how it was in my head, but my cousin was not like that with me. So I had to learn a little bit on the hard way that, you know, they're not going to ride with you like you would for them. Also, when Sandra says something about being now, that's the question I do want to ask. If somebody says to you, "Hey, why do you do A, B, and C, but if I do it, it's a problem. Is that called combative, or that's just being inquisitive? Because I know for myself, and I was just talking with this another relative about what is disrespectful and stuff of that nature, and I actually told them, you know, I think it's generational or something because the 45 and up group, and I don't know who else is 45 and over. I'm just being honest. I'm trying to be a little, open. They'll take any small thing and call it being disrespectful, combative, and this, that, and the third. But they'll do the same exact thing and turn around and say, but I'm grown. I don't know where they got it from. Don't know why they still do it, but it needs to be gone. That mentality, I can't do it. And that affects relationships universal. I can't stand it. I'm sorry, but I try to learn things, um, in different lenses. And I feel like, especially in dating, um, people are very quick to be so opinionated and try to do this woke thing. And sometimes I just try to say, well, what is healthy, what is unhealthy? Because when I try to do something from a genuine place, I'm questioned, I'm looked at as crazy. But somebody can say the same thing, or if not worse, and no one questions it. I just don't get it. You
Can I
know,
answer that?
please.
You know what that is? That's narcissism in its finest form. So anybody who does something and then turn around and be like, it's good, like what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander, that's what you call a narcissist. They're basically only able to dish the action, but they're not mature enough to take the action because they're so used to doing it. When someone turns around and does the very same thing they did, they don't know how to take it. So that's how I view that, in my opinion. And if that's the case and that's what you're dealing with, that would be somebody I wouldn't keep too close to me, because that shows, one, that they don't have a very high maturity emotionally and can't really articulate their feelings and emotions without being immature. And then two, it means that they're not aware of how they affect other people with their actions. They're able to give it, but they can't take it. And usually, when you give somebody a sip of their own medicine, they never like how it tastes. So I feel like that's where that comes from. Because I've been in that situation too, and it's annoying as hell. And I feel you on that. You be like, what the fuck? I'm doing the very same thing you just did. It's cool when you do it, but when I do it, I'm all bitches and hoes, and you all mad at me and all this other stuff. But when you do it, I'm just supposed to be like, okay, you're forgiven. Like, no, that's not how that works. So I hear you on that.
Thank you, because that's one thing I try to, you know, keep in relationships. That's why when people are around me, they're like, you're very quiet. Um, are you mad and all this other stuff? No, I just want to be observant because I have been in predicaments where, if I did something, it was a problem, was an issue. The other person does it, they don't say nothing. And sometimes, you try to be grown because I have a grandmother. Um, she's old school, elder-ish, whatever you want to call it. And her main line of rebuttal towards me is always, just because you didn't hear me say anything about it, don't mean it was said. So now here's where I am combative in a way. Follow me on this one. If you did say something, why are they still allowed to keep doing it? Or, you're condoning. So I just try to ask questions to make sure I am not crazy. Or maybe I should not check myself in and stuff of that nature. But, I do appreciate it because I be wondering, you know. That's basically me. Did Ebony leave again?
There's
Yes, she
nothing wrong
said
with
she
that.
would be right there.
There's nothing wrong with being inquisitive. I think some people are very impatient with other people because people do have to understand that we're all at different levels in our love and our relationships and our traumas and what we've experienced. So I feel like that when people, I don't like being interrogated. That's one pet peeve of mine. Like, if it feels like I'm being interrogated or like you're treating me like you're a private investigator, I really don't dig that. I feel like you should get to know me well enough to know like how I am before doing all that. And if you don't know me that well, then we don't need to be as close as I think we should be. But definitely ain't nothing wrong with asking questions because that's where clarity comes in. So you can make sure that you're making the right steps in your relationship and you're making not only yourself happy, but the other person happy as well. So I don't see anything wrong with asking questions. I think it depends on word choice and approach as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go with you on that one. You know, but I do want to say for real though, Sandra, there are plenty of loyal people out there. Um, lady was saying the same thing that my friend tells me all the time. Maybe it's just your location. I do know small town um places in the South. They do tend to have a little bit of erratic behavior in dating. So maybe you should change scenery. But everybody out here is not loyal, but there are a few. You just got, I guess, keep putting the faith out and try to find them. Because I know I'm a loyal person to the T. I'm intense. I'm passionate. I'm all that. So I know I'd be a good wife to whoever, but I could see where my problem is in a way. I halfway have emotional gangster tendencies.
I believe you when you say that too.
I was about to say, why did that sound like a joke, but you were cracking but facking?
You know what? That ain't right, y'all.
I totally
Emotional
picked up what she
gangster
was putting down
tendency.
when she said that, boy. I could see it. I could see a conversation, boy.
Woo! So, do you feel that you are too aggressive or that you give up too easily or something, Alia? Like you know what? I can live without you. I don't have to deal with this. Let me go ahead and just go and let this off. I'm not about to work on what you're talking about because I don't have a problem. Give us an example of what you mean by emotional gangster, please.
Okay, so I have not actually. Yes, I have. I shouldn't even say I have not. I have. I have gone 0 to 100 on past dating partners of mine. However, it was not out of the clear blue sky or over something small and petty. It was a repetitive thing. And at first, I used to say to myself, maybe it is me. But then when I look back on who I've dated, how I've dated certain people, it ain't me. Prime example, I my first quote unquote boyfriend in college. Say we were out dating or I was out at a party or something and I saw him, I would energetically go over and say hey or try to speak, be friendly. He'd brush me to the side, wouldn't act like I'm annoying him and all this other stuff. So eventually at some point I said, okay, the hell with you. Excuse me because I where I'm recording, but I'm gonna go over here and just mingle with other people. I'm not. I spoke to you. I'm just not gonna give you no more time and energy. He would follow me from room to room, and like say if I was talking to, it didn't matter if it was a boy or a girl. I'm just talking, trying to be social. He'd make rude and sensitive remarks. Um, and at first I said, well, maybe it was something I did and I didn't realize it. But after, number of times, finally I just blew up and cussed him out in front of everybody, and I did not care how he felt, um, or looked, or how I looked, I should say. Um, that's what I mean by emotional gangster. Like I go 0 to 100 after you do it so many times, and I try to be grown and walk away, you know, not give it energy, but yeah, I go there. Like that's what I mean by emotional gangster. Like I holler, I scream, I cuss. Now you have to do something very extreme for me to put my hands on you, but that's technically what I mean by emotional gangster.
That's not even emotional gangster though. That just means you got fed up with somebody's bullshit and finally called them on it. Because at the end of the day, that's wrong. First of all, you don't be insensitive and disrespect your girl in public. Not even in private, but you damn sure don't do it in public. That's not cool. And then second of all, like maybe it's because there was some insecurity there. That's what it sounds like to me, because it seems like he didn't really know you well enough to know you were a sociable person, and that's just part of who you are. You like to socialize and have conversation, and I think he got in his feelings and became insecure. So instead of dealing with those insecure emotions, he used what he could find to kind of like maybe change the mood of the atmosphere to one where he didn't have to feel what he was feeling anymore, which was not the smart thing to do. But if you're not emotionally mature, you don't know really how to handle your emotions and your feelings and express them. But that's just what I got from that. I love you, Aaliyah. You're great. Don't let nobody stop your greatness and your shine. You still be gangsta.
Oh, you're so
Thank
sweet,
you.
Sandra. You're so sweet. Thank you for that, Sandra. You are totally awesome, Alia. And I had a whole picture in my head when you were talking about how he was following you through the rooms and stuff. Oh my goodness, how old is this guy? Grow up. Jeez.
Well,
Damn.
yeah, I was 21 at the time, and he was 26 or 27.
26 or 27, acting like he in high school. I bet you was verbally
Wow.
abusing you at the same time. That's what it
That's
sounded like.
crazy. Men do mature really slow though, bro. They be in their 30s and still don't get it. So,
Oh
man,
yeah, and he turned, and this is even better. He still acted the same way even when he turned 30. So, I, somewhat the same. Not really. He didn't even do the verbal stuff no more. He just kept following me, and now tried to, I guess, correct the error of his ways and start being nice and imposing himself on me. And I'm just like, dog, it's too late for you. Like you blew it. Like I I, I can't fuck with you on the real no more. Excuse my language again, but yeah, I'm low key emotional gangster. Like I love hard. I I do the best I can, and for me, I get very angry and upset when people are very selective with me, and if I do it to them it's a problem. Just like what was it, a few days ago, I believe I was just telling somebody, how I wanted to say, get a chance to know. Prime example, say me and Sandra, you and I, Sandra, we were kind of in the talking phase. We were going to try to see, dating, but I would try small little ways to get to know you in some shape or form. Like, oh, do you want to go spend a day at the spa, or go to the movies or something like that? You would come up with every excuse. Well, I have to work and I don't know about my schedule, what it'll look like, and this, that, and third. But lady comes in and says the same thing that I just said. You you never gave that type of energy. You were just like, oh sure, well, just pick a day and time and we could go from there. Or, I'm always good on this day and that day. It was never the same. And when I say it to somebody, they downplay that type of situation. And again, it will be multiple times before I'd be like, calling you out your name or all this other stuff. So yeah, it's, I always feel like it's always with me versus other people, but I'm not
Can I
everybody's
give
cup
you
of
some
tea.
advice right quick?
What's up?
Don't do that. Stop doing that. Don't pay attention to what other people do with other people. Only figure out why it is the way it is with you. And I'll tell you why. Comparing is something that will get your mind in a spiraling downward direction because you're going to start questioning yourself. You're going to be questioning the people around you. I've been in relationships where they would compare my relationship with them to relationships I have with other people. You can't do that because, one, you don't know who that other person is to that person. You don't know their history. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what kind of connection they have. The only thing that you can really question or fix is your connection with them. So I would then ask questions like, you know, what type of relationship do we have? Do you think, I've been questioning our friendship, or there are things about our friendship I don't like or do like, maybe open up the realm of expressing more of what the person thinks your relationship with them consists of. And then from there, you know how you can make that relationship grow in its own entity and its own beautiful pattern, shape, and consistency versus it being compared to what other people do. Because, like, for instance, my ex would be like, for instance, like, my ex might call me and be like, hey, I want to come over and chill. And I might be like, nah, I'm not in the mood. And you're right. Somebody else might come along and be like, hey, I wanted to come over. Is it cool? And I might be like, yeah. Well, obviously, there's a reason why I said no to one and yes to the other. And that's the main thing. You have to know what the differences are in the relationship and why they may have said what they said. In my instance, it's because with the person, there's pressure of doing physical things when hanging out. With the other person, I can hang out with that person. And if there's no sexual innuendos, no sexual content, or even if it's something as simple as a kiss on the cheek or a neck, it's not leading to anything more than what it simply is. So that was the reason why one was allowed and one wasn't. But if you worry about why somebody else gets treated differently than you, then it's just going to be a downward spiral. You more need to get answers to what type of relationship you really have, what's healthy and unhealthy about the relationship that's causing the conflict, and why you're being treated differently than others, if that made sense. That's just my own advice because I used to compare myself too. And it would make me start resenting myself and hating myself and wondering if I was doing things wrong and maybe something was wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just not everybody's cup of tea. Some people can't drink me. I'm too hot. Some people
That's
don't
what
like my
I
flavor.
say.
It's too spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And it's so funny because I was about to say the same thing. Well, maybe I'm just not everybody's cup of tea because I know for a fact I'm not. So yeah, I totally agree. It's just, that's that natural Libra thing. I'm the scales, like, okay, what makes me so oddball and gotta have this way versus that other person? But then I have to I've started lately, quote unquote, just lately. You know, that's the other person's problem. It ain't mine because what's for you is for you. So that's just me now. But you couldn't tell me that like what, a year ago or so, because I sure would be just like, okay, you just some snooty old blah 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 blah, and I can't deal with you. That was me then a year ago, but me now, it's just like, well, they didn't want to deal with me. That's good riddance. Their loss, not mine.
That's definitely called growth, Alia. And thank you so much for pouring into Alia with that knowledge of not comparing yourself. But I do understand what Ali was saying. She was saying, if I just ask you to come over, or I want to hang out with you, and we're dating, and all of a sudden I hear in the background somebody else say something, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, damn, I thought we was dating. Why wouldn't you, right? But then I also understand where Sandra's coming from. The relationship is different, or they they probably don't feel like entertaining a relationship or someone that they're dating, but they don't mind their sister coming over because their sister probably just gonna come over, sit on the couch, put on Netflix, and their sister may come over and be cooking. You and she don't really have to do much of entertaining. So I like how Sandra pointed out, and figure out your relationship that you have with that person, the connection you have with that person, and what they're trying to build with you. Because different friendships or connections require different energy and, and different levels of engagements, right? So I think that was very good to be able to identify, separate, and hopefully be able to operate going forward in a healthier manner to where we don't have to question ourselves or our self worth. And know that your tribe will find you. Okay, no one is everyone's cup of tea. Someone can be too quiet, someone can be too talkative for some people, someone can be, hey, some people are neurodivergent, some people don't even realize that they're neurodivergent, some people don't realize that they're introverts. Okay, so that's not your personal problem. As long as you're happy with you look at yourself in that mirror and you know that you're not out here hurting people, you're not out here being inconsiderate, you're not out here just being inhumane, then keep up the good work. And you seem like we all come to wind down every week. So we care. We care about others. We care about healing. We care about ourselves, our self-esteem. We care about our future. We care about other people's thoughts and feelings and voices, right? So just to know that you're a part of the wind down at all, let us know that everyone here is on a good path. We're all trying to be better than who we were yesterday, right?
Facts.
And it's a journey, and I'm so grateful that we have the wind down to sit down, or things like this, to where we come together and our voice can be heard, and we can express ourselves and our thoughts, our feelings. This is important. We learned so much tonight, just from Sandra mostly. Speaking of the importance of awareness, I'll say, Sandra, you're highly emotional. You have high emotional intelligence.
I just wish others could see it. I swear I try so hard in my relationships, and I'll be like, man, I don't know where I'm going wrong, but it's literally got me to a point where I'm okay with not being in a relationship, and it's kind of scary because I can see myself low key getting comfortable with not caring for someone else, not fully giving myself to someone, which is crazy because I never thought I'd say that.
I understand, Sandra. I'm in the same exact place. It is scary. But in another way, if I can give you a different point of view, I think it's healthy because we're not willing, no longer willing to have someone just to say we have someone. We're no longer willing to sacrifice our boundaries or our needs or wants for someone, right? So that means The next relationship should be a good one. I'm talking about we done vetted this person, they done vetted us, we done took our time, we done build something that's can withstand rain, sleet, or snow. That can withstand
I'm
hard
claiming
times.
that.
Amen. Amen. And just from finally trying to date now, I feel like the candidates are getting better and better. And my decision making is as well. I don't want
Right.
just a relationship, Could have been in a relationship, but that's what I want. I don't want just a relationship. I want a healthy, happy, fulfilled relationship.
Right.
And I know that's not gonna
Magically
be
happen.
right. So I'm putting myself in the right places, around in the right spaces, and making sure I'm that woman that I want and need. Right? Starts with us, and we should be attracting our mates. They shall be coming for us very soon, if we don't already know them. I don't know. I keep my heart open to that. My mind is open to, hey, I may know my wife already, or maybe I don't. And I'm okay with both of those things. Like, where do you meet your wife? Where do you meet your spouse? How to
That's a
not.
good topic. What places do you search for love?
Oh, ooh, okay. Hey, now, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. Okay, so next week we can definitely talk about where. What did you say? Where do you look for love? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
where do you look for love? I know we're
Or do
talking
you?
about.
I think some people would say you don't look for it, you let it come to you.
And that
Yeah.
one. But I tell you what, it's definitely not these dating apps.
I mean, I do always have this saying of heartbreak is right around the corner. Okay, always right around the corner, but love may be far. And I mean that in a long distance situation. But maybe we can apply that to this as well. Right? Are we willing to put in the work? I hate the small talk stage. I hate the I don't even like small talk unless it's grocery shopping or something. But I'm intentional when I'm dating. God bless you.
Thank
Too
you.
tight. Bless you.
Mhm. And if I
You
have to ask
know,
what's their favorite food one more time, it's gonna be a problem. If I have to ask somebody what their favorite color is one more time, geesh.
That's my thing. I don't think when you get to know someone, it should feel like 21 questions. It should be like you just spending time with each other, doing things, and questions come, conversation comes. That's why I make a big emphasis on natural. I feel like the natural relationships be the best ones, the ones that don't feel forced, no pressure. It's just them being them, you being you, and it works. The
Yeah,
energy is intense, the vibes on 10,000. You don't want to leave. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the phone to ring. You don't want nothing to get in the dang way because it just feels great. That's the type of, I want that naturally. I feel like, shoot, somebody kind of show me that they ain't messing with me. I'll back back. I'll look, I know you're missing out on some loving because I'll text you every day. I'll, you know what I'm saying, ask if you ate, ask you how work was, send you little things like, I don't know, I'll go above and beyond, but if you're gonna treat me like it means nothing to you, oh, I'll turn the shit off and then you'll be looking at me like I miss you. Why you ain't text me? Hey stranger, it's so funny. And I'd be like, but then when you getting it, you don't appreciate it. But then when I take it away, then all of a sudden you recognize what it is. I don't understand why that is.
people don't know what they have until it's gone sometimes. Or they thought they got too comfortable, Sandra, as you were saying earlier. They got too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable, baby. Don't get too comfortable. All right. Because once you're in, but once you're out, you out. And you
And
never know
for
when
me,
it can
it's
happen.
emotions, big time. Like if emotionally you have me, you have me. Once I emotionally feel nothing for you, where I can honestly say I don't care, oh, you're screwed. You're at the point of no return, homie. You might as well go ahead, pack your bag, because it's a wrap.
I heard that. I heard that. Keep going for me, Sandra. I need like 40 seconds.
Um, so yeah, I don't know, like I realized when I was in the homeless shelter that I needed to learn about boundaries more, and I'm not a confrontational person. Like, and so I struggled with speaking up about my boundaries, about the things that bothered me. And that's why, like Aaliyah was saying, like people give you shit for speaking up on how you feel or what you like or what you don't like. And it becomes frustrating because you feel like you're having to explain yourself and you're not being accepted. You're not being heard. Like what you want doesn't seem like it's necessary. It's not as important to you as it is, or to the other person as it is to you. Like I struggle with the boundary setting, and like sometimes I feel guilty for setting boundaries, but I had to realize that my happiness is just as important as me making the other person happy. And really, wholeheartedly, we should make ourselves happy. It shouldn't require someone else to make us happy. We should already be happy. If we not, then I feel like we're getting in relationships for the wrong reasons. Because we have that expectation that someone else is going to fulfill something that really people can't fulfill. You have to do that for yourself. So I'm learning. I think I'm learning. I think my parents are proud of me because they see I'm not doing the same things that I used to do, and I'm actually like sticking to my guns and like doing better because I know it's important to them for them to see that growth in me because they're worried about me and what my future looks like if they were to be no longer existing. So I'm trying to get my little duckies in a row. Put my eggs all in one basket without a hole in the bottom. You feel me?
I get you completely because I was just telling lady before y'all got into the call, whatnot. Like I'm not a parent yet, so I'm very proactive on, you know, having my ducks in a row before I have children because I don't want them to have certain struggles in life. So I am 100% with you, and you were 100% correct, child. Yeah, we need to get together sometime here now. Do some real wind down drinks.
Right? Look, I love the drinks. Don't get me started. I'll have everybody feeling right.
Yes, please. Like, you know these were some old school 80s thing drinks called tropical thunders or thunderstorms, something like that. You know how to do those?
You said tropical thunderstorms?
Or yeah, it was like a frozen drink.
I'm pretty sure it's not too complicated.
Yeah, we need a couple of those.
I
And
love
get
watching
things.
like exotic drink masters and things like that. Like I watched all those shows. I'm into drink making. It's cool. I even want to make some drinks with the edible glitter for like someone's baby shower or anniversary or wedding or something. I think that'd be so cute.
Yes, ma'am. Like we got hooked this up. You know, I was. Oh Lord have mercy. I forget this thing is on, and plus you're older than me, and it's kind of rude. I like talking to you, Sandra. You be just making sense, and you just soothe my sensitive side.
Well, thank you. I don't mind it. I just like being me. I love this energy. That's why I've been coming every Wednesday. This is totally up my alley. I love conversation with different types of people from different places, different locations, different backgrounds. I think it's totally cool. I relate to a lot of you guys, and like I'm excited to try to plan something. That prom thing we're having, I forgot what it's called completely. Don't be mad at me because I'm new to the group. But the thing in August, I'm really like making it a thing to try to. I never really get to do anything because I'm a single parent and I'm always struggling with trying to keep everything afloat, and I really don't get to travel and do things like I really want. So I'm really like praying about it and hoping God will like help make everything pan out to where I can really go because I want to go. I think it'll be a fun time, and I'm excited to meet everybody in person, and y'all get to see me like that I'm the same person on the camera in real life too, you know? I'm so cool. I'm tooting my own horn, but I love people. I just want us to
Absolutely,
all
take
have a
your
good
own horn.
time.
You deserve it. You're amazing,
Mm.
Sandra. And what is it that you was talking about coming to? And you want to meet us? Where? At the adult prom? Which one? What are you talking about?
Yeah, the prom thing in August. I didn't remember what the first part was, but I knew it was a prom.
Yes, adult prom, August, end of August in Chicago, Illinois. You think you can make it?
I'm just scared because, like, I know my parents are gonna give me a hard time about it. Like, my dad's really like overprotective. He's all like, never really wants me to go nowhere or do much. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's real. He don't trust people. He don't trust the world. Like, he's afraid something bad's gonna happen. So that's kind of like how my dad is. So I feel like I have to figure out how to go to this without telling them I'm going to this. Because if I tell them I'm going to Illinois, they're going to have a holy cow. But then at the same time, I feel like low key, I'm going to need their help depending on when this is, dates, times, things like that, because my kids will be in school at the end of August. Now, if this was happening in the summertime, it'd be a little easier. But since it will be happening after the school year starts, I have to figure out making sure the kids are okay and all that's thoroughly planned out. My son's turning 18 in June. I'm trying to get him his driver's license. I just got a lot going on this year.
I totally
Wait,
understand. Go on, Alia.
no, I quit until you're done, lady. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you know how I feel about that? I'm sorry word now. Okay. We must start implementing my bad or apologies. Besides, I'm sorry for small things. Okay. That makes you feel a certain way that gives off different energy. Trust me when I tell you this. Okay. So, sure. So, Sandra, I put it in August because I was trying to be considerate of the people who have kids and be like kind of like a hey, let's do this big thing before we have to start getting our kids ready for school in the morning again. But I see uh, when does how about this? When does school start back for your kids, Sandra? Let me see. Sandra, when does school start back for your kids?
Oh, my fault. I thought I was unmuted. The second week of August.
Okay. Mm, that's gonna be rough then. I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
try
why I
to
said
change
our
it.
kids start school early.
Yes, I see, because I thought end of August was safe for everybody. Um, you may just have to tell them, Sandra, just to make things easier for you. You may just have to tell them, and this may start a whole new beautiful thing for you. Okay, so I'm sure you want to travel more, and it'd be nice to have familiar support. Um, but I think that's so cute that your parents are overprotective of you, because I know we're about the same age.
Well, I'm the only like one left. Like there's no other family members. Like I'm the only
Mhm.
child and these are the only grandkids. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like there's a lot of pressure on me to make sure I'm making good decisions. And my dad reminds me if something happens to me, my kids will go to their dad. So I'm always on my top of my stuff. Like I don't do anything that's going, jeopardize what I've been trying to build since getting out of the shelter.
That's good. I'm happy you're making better decisions, and I still think it's cute that your family is uh, kind of overprotective of you, just like you're the baby. Hey,
Hmm.
AI, welcome, honey. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us at the Wind Down tonight. So many people have came in and out.
Yeah.
So welcome. So this is AI. Y'all met her on Xbox. She's one of my favorites to play with on 2K. As y'all know, I'm a bit of a gamer girl. I only really play 2K though because I really want to play basketball, but I'm definitely aged out. I may be a good coach though. What you think, AI? You think I can be a coach, AI?
Most definitely.
AI, listen, I don't know the kids be able to handle the way I talk sometimes. Like, didn't I tell you?
They gonna
Hey, listen,
quit.
what you say, AI?
They gonna quit.
See, listen, y'all. Y'all get the y'all get a lady. Like this is a different lady than I am on the game. On the game,
Own
you
that.
come on there telling me.
Own that.
That part, nobody want to see me on no Call of Duty, boy. They'd be like, "This is not the same person." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's straight hood. No rules apply when you playing Call of Duty."
Oh
Nah,
my.
for real.
Mm. AI, you play Call of Duty too?
Yeah, I be on Call of Duty with the bros.
Sandra, what console you on? Please don't say PlayStation.
Xbox.
Oh snap! Hey,
No.
AI, you may have a running mate now. Hey, check it out, check it out. Y'all may get me on COD. Let me find out.
That jump
Uh,
really lit.
huh?
That jump really lit.
Hey, listen. That's her gamer tag on Xbox, Sandra. You just have to mention like, hey, it's Sandra from the wind down or something, and she'll know it's you. And then this is me
Okay.
on Xbox right here. Dang, did I change my name? I'm Laz Boss. I'm not Lady Lit no more. Okay. I'm Laz Boss. What's my name on that Laz Boss? What now? Like 2669 or something? Yeah.
Uh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I changed my name to Last Boss because the last boss is usually the hardest to beat in every game, you know. And I am a little bossy when it comes to 2K, okay? I will tell you quick. Hey, stay out my paint. Don't get out. You know that's my biggest pet peeve, AR. Get out my paint.
Mhm.
Dang it. Why would you have Shaq on the perimeter and Steph Curry in the paint all game? Like okay, let me come back. Let me come back. Let me come back to the wind down. Welcome to the wind down, AR. Though right now we was kind of free falling because we kind of in between topics right now. But I did put the topics in the chat. I'm not sure if you can see them though because you just joined. So tonight's topics are: how do you receive love? Is the way you receive love healthy? Are you ready to receive love? And what do you need to learn for a better future? Okay, so far, um, we've said that we receive love in like considerate ways or acts of kindness, acts of services, things that are thoughtful. Let's say if you're out and you see that this favorite snack or something that the person would like, and they had a hard day at work or something, you can get that for them, or especially some of us are mothers, so we have someone that's hands on with the kids sometimes without us having to act or having to always do everything. And it kind of lighten the load for us, then, you know, that's how we receive love, like doing things that we need, that this person need, make their day a little easier, lighter, right? Well, I don't think we talked about the bad sides of receiving love, though, y'all. Okay, because I told y'all how I had mommy daughter issues that I didn't really realize that I was going to my women in a bad way for that. And then once I healed my mommy wound, I wasn't sure if I was lesbian or not because I wasn't looking at women for the same reasons anymore, right? Because I healed my mommy wound, right? And so I had to process that. And then after I come to the conclusion, I just don't look at women for the same reasons. So I'm not looking for someone to come and heal certain wounds. I've healed those wounds, right? And I'm not coming to you in a submissive way, submitting to you as a dominant person to me solely because of it's a mother daughter relationship. Okay. Now that doesn't mean I never submit to my woman and she never will submit to me. So um it's all about balance, right? So we talked about that of how we receive love, but I do want us next week to focus on the unhealthy ways that we may have received love in the past, because abuse was probably definitely one of mine. I wouldn't say that I like will speak up and say, hey, I want that, but I know that I used to receive it a lot, and I probably felt the person didn't, necessarily care about me until that part happened. Whether it was some type of abuse, mental, emotional, verbal, especially that were women, it was usually some type of physical abuse, and probably 70% of my relationships. And I knew that had to change, especially now that I have children. So I know that I definitely received love in an unhealthy way in the past. But as we spoke before earlier, y'all, we know that we are making better decisions. We are cutting people off when we see the red flags, where they are not. This is not a carnival ride. We know that this person is going to take us on an emotional roller coaster, baby. All right. And we know our needs now and we know how to articulate them. But that took a long time for us to get there. So y'all remember there's no pressure to talk, but if you want, there's a button here. You can raise your hand if you want to talk. And we have the emoji. We can react when people are talking. Okay. Um, Ali, did you answer the question of what do you need to unlearn for a better future? Sandra, I'm not sure if you covered that as well. What do you need to unlearn for a better future? And was it
I
the
did.
okay? Go on.
That one was like that one I had said something of the sort of, like enabling people's behavior, like allowing people to be too comfortable. I, love fast, like I said, for me, it's like if I get to talking to you and I'm feeling you and I'm loving the vibe and like we hanging out, like I want that to grow. So like there's gonna be more of it, and that's when the feelings and emotions come into play. Well, once, like I said earlier, emotionally I'm invested, you got me, because then I'm gonna care. So that means you get the extra package and then some, you know what I'm saying? Because if you got a business, I'm buying you business stuff. I'm gonna support you. You know what I'm saying? If you contributed into the household, you doing your part, like I'm gonna make sure I'm doing my part. I'm gonna make sure you coming home, house is tidied up. You know what I'm saying? I might have something laid out for you to put on after your shower. Maybe some I just bought you. You know what I'm saying? Like I automatically do that so people get comfortable, and then they get comfortable in it and they think I feel like I'm not gonna stop or I'm gonna stick around and just tolerate whatever I'm receiving back from them. And that don't be the case. So in the future, I'm learning that I can't make people comfortable, and I also have to set boundaries and like stick to them and not be afraid of what we were talking about earlier, the pushback of setting boundaries. If that's a boundary and it brings me peace and it makes me feel comfortable with the life I'm living and the choices I'm making, then that's what I'm going to do. And if you don't like it, well, there's the door. And it's just got to be like that. I can't give a damn about nobody else's feelings. I got to worry about me first. So that's what I'm doing in the future.
I heard that, Sandra. You better say it loud, say it loud, say it louder for the people in the back. Okay, I heard you. I feel you on that. I think Sandra, that's wonderful what you do. That's wifey right there. Okay, maybe the person need to earn that a little bit before you start doing that, right? Okay, because how you start stuff
Fact.
is Remember how you start stuff is very important because now
Right.
they're expecting it.
But
And
then
then
wait,
you
wait, pause,
Mhm.
pause. But the problem is then somebody will be saying you're not giving yourself. You don't seem like you're into it. Like you're not, and that's what I'm saying. If I hold back, there's a difference in the love that you receive from me if I hold back. You see what I'm saying? So then the person really don't feel like they want to give their time and their energy because they don't think I'm really invested because I am holding back. I am like not really giving 110% of myself. I'm only giving a portion. So that backfires for me. So what can I do in that situation? How can I love someone without fully putting myself in there? How can I make them feel love if the things that I would do as a wife, I can't do, and I can only be a friend or a girlfriend?
I can totally understand the quarrel with that. What I meant was it's kind of like a give and a go, right? So I'm not saying never do these things until marriage. That's not what I'm saying here. You can do something like that if this person gave you a good time, not sexually necessarily, but they done showed you, hey, they worthy of something like that. Hmm? Are they consistent? They care about your feelings. Did they just learn that, you got this promotion? Did they congratulate you on this promotion? Things like that. Stuff like that. Did they do something out of just vocalizing something for you? Did they bring you, your favorite snack? Did they, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Because it seems like we need the same love that we give, right? So is this person giving you that same love back before you even give it to them? Because people usually love you the way that they need to be loved, right? So I understand why you were doing that because that's something that you also need in your life. But how about we see if someone's going to do that for you before you do that for them? Or will you do it for them one time? Do they return the favor the next day, the next week? You see what I'm saying? Like a
I
balance,
hear
right?
that. Make it more like a tit for a tat where I don't put in too much unless they're showing they're giving a little bit too first. I feel you.
Right. That way you're not left empty. You don't feel like it's a one-sided relationship. You don't feel like you're pulling all the work. And also this person is giving into it. So you know what? It'll balance out because you won't have to be doing that all the time for one, even though you know what, you probably will be doing them a lot because that's something you genuinely want to do for your mate, right? That's fine. They may gonna find some another way to love on you though. You see what I'm saying? But as long as they have given into it, now they can have value of it, right? And then after the value of it, that's when you're gonna start seeing all the efforts change, right? Value equals effort
Understood.
to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just hard for me because if I'm into you, I'm into you. Like if I
Yeah.
love the wrinkle of your nose, I love the way you smile, the way your voice sounds, how you sound right before bed, like all those things matter. The small things be mattering. So if I'm in, I'm in. I'm gonna show you I'm in. You're not gonna have to question how I feel. I'm not gonna have to necessarily say I love you because I'm showing you I love you. You're going to feel it. So it's hard for me. But I'm gonna have to treat boyfriends and girlfriends like boyfriends and girlfriends and not give too much until we reach that point of, okay, now I can show you I really got wifey in there.
I mean, you can always give hints of that, though, here and there. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you completely deprive the person of it. And now you know what to look out for anyway. I'm not saying never give that to someone because, hell, a woman like me gonna appreciate that, right? What I'm saying is, it doesn't seem like you've been giving it to people that appreciate it. So that has to be a sign of lack of appreciation before it comes, right? Not to mention that withholding is not going to be fulfilling for you either. So I don't want you just withholding. I want you to have someone that's going to be giving to where you don't have to withhold. Okay, but that's only going to come if you're taking the time out, see if they're that type of person. So you say you may like the wrinkle of their nose when they smile or things like that. None of that is going to be important when you're deciding whether you want to be with them or not, though. Okay, it's going to be reasons like this. You don't. I leave clothes out for you for work. You rarely say thank you. I make breakfast and more. You barely eat it. Things like that is going to be why you leave the person, not because they don't have the wrinkle on their nose anymore. You see what I'm saying? So that can't be the
Right.
reason we falling for people.
No,
It can
I
be
I mean, not the
look.
little wrinkle. That was just a little extra because I was just making a point of little silly stuff. But that wouldn't be a reason why I left. Of course not. But those are the things why I may enjoy doing something for someone. You know, the way that they look at me or the way that they things that I love about them may be the part of the reason why I want to show them that love and things like that.
Right, I understand. Oh yeah, loving the way that someone looks at you. I know exactly what you're talking about. They look at you kind of like you're the love of their life.
Yep. Like you're their everything. Like they can't live without you. You're their air. They can't sleep without you. They can't eat without you. They mind is all boggled up if they don't have you. Like it's crazy.
I know exactly what look you're talking about. I know a lot of my exes miss that look, baby. Okay. Ooh wee. What
You
we gonna do?
crazy.
No, I'm just saying, because I be trying to tell them before I end up breaking off with them. Like, hey, listen,
I
okay,
know. You gonna miss me when I'm gone.
before I leave, you make sure this is, hey, all right, because it's going to take you a long time to find somebody like me, if ever. Number one. Two, you got to go out there and get your heart broken about 2 or 3 times before you can appreciate a woman like me. So I'll never be anyone's first again for that reason. I don't think anyone who's never had their heart broken before can ever appreciate a woman like me. Gonna fumble the hell out of a woman like me. You think, especially imagine being someone first and you're all those things, Sandra, and you're there first. How they gonna appreciate that? They
They
probably
don't
think
know how to
everybody
feel.
do that. No, they
Right.
probably think everybody gonna do it right. Oh, you did one thing they didn't like, or you done been this person that can you have emotional maturity and intelligence. You could talk things out and talk things through. But they thought they could go do this one little thing and you was gonna be able to talk that through. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And now they can't understand why you want to be done. No, go play with somebody else. You thought I was playing with you, damn it. See somebody who had their heart broken before 2 or 3 times, never even took that risk. They already know how hard it is to actually find somebody that they can get along with and who actually cares and who got their back. You end up getting lucky with me on your first time coming out. Oh no. You're not gonna be fumble, fumble on the play, yellow flag thrown out.
Interception. Interception.
Look, look, I'm just saying, I will never be anyone's first again, but I'll certainly be your last, baby. I will certainly be your last.
Yeah, you definitely wisen up. You be like, I ain't tolerating it. I ain't even doing this again, type of thing.
Well, that's learning from experience, and that's wisdom to me. Is not repeating the same mistake. It don't have to be the exact same one either. It can be just similar, like the connection I just ended. I had to tell. I said I need a few days to process how I feel, and I will reconnect with you, right? So I take the few days, maybe about 3 days, maybe even 4, to process how I felt about what was going on between me and her. And I had to put my finger on. I said, you know what? This has been abusive. This has been an abusive connection. And you know what? I'm going to end it. Yes, I've known you since I was 10, but I don't know this person. And obviously, you don't know me either. I'm not the 10-year-old that you met on Springfield anymore. I'm not that little girl. Is she still somewhere in there? Yeah. I'm still me in the core of me, but I'm not 10 years old. And you act like we're still on Springfield and you just haven't grown at all. And you know what? I hope it wasn't like this when we was 10 because that wasn't healthy. Okay. You don't respect my boundaries, and I do. And going forward, you just have to, we're going to have to separate. We're going to disconnect. We're going to have to disconnect. And that takes emotional intelligence and emotional maturity, which I don't think you can really get if you're dating someone who doesn't have that. And you're just starting off. You haven't had any healthy examples of a relationship or marriage. Everybody just kind of winging it. You
Facts.
know, I'm just
I
saying in
hear
school
that.
they taught us, no, Fredo Sandra, in school they taught us all these useless things. No lie, useless stuff. I'm sorry, a lot. No, I'm not sorry. A lot of stuff they taught us in school is useless. Don't use none of it now. They should have been teaching us stuff like this. Damn it. Teach people how to properly handle other people, damn it. They don't have humanities classes only until you get into college. No, you need to start having humanities probably by second grade, my guy. Okay? When we start having a conscious, maybe to start deciding between right and wrong, start giving people humanities classes, damn it. Anger management, um, crisis management, all of that. Teach us stuff like that, damn it.
Indeed. Some real life stuff.
Yes, ethics. Yes, damn it.
Yeah, I hear
But those
that.
Yeah, but those classes are electives in college. They're not even mandatory. Ethics and humanities are electives. The hell?
I think those should be core classes for real, because humanity would, wow.
Okay. But they want to sit over here and teach us Pythagorean theorem.
I'm dead. I love math though. Don't be hating on the
I forgot to
Pythagorean
say
theorem
though. Let's
though.
listen. That's why I started laughing because I was about to say, hold on, whole time. Pythagorean theorem was my jam in geometry, okay? Geometry was actually my best math subject. So
I
I do
think
love
mine was algebra.
I love geometry. I really do. But no hate on the algebra though. But no, I had to put that out there though, because I don't use Pythagorean theorem. No. But I did love Pythagorean theorem. But maybe they do help me strategize and figure out a lot of stuff else in life, I guess. But you get the gist of what I'm saying, Sandra.
Indeed.
Pythagorean theorem not gonna help me solve a marriage problem, damn it. Or is it?
Right. Or any kind of problem. I mean, maybe. There's a
It
few select circumstances where the Pythagorean theorem may be used, but not anything we've been talking about.
The hell? Let me see. How the hell you spell it? Pythagorean.
I
Yeah,
think
let
it
me look
was
it up.
in it PH, no, PY.
I got you.
Uh,
Yeah, here we go.
TH
Mm-hmm.
O
Here we
G
go.
O R E A N, I think.
You know what? I do wish they kept still in school, but of course, I don't know about y'all state, but they definitely took it out of my city slash state, I think. No, it's just my city. Public schools or whatnot. Home ec, shop, band, a whole lot of stuff. I I wish the education system could take certain things more seriously than just academics.
But they'll be just being petty Betty though. Like in problem A and problem B, get solved, then equal to successful marriage. Okay. All right. Or if you give me this and then give me that, we can equal it out to this. But I think that'll start getting toxic. Okay. But I did love Pythagorean theorem. That was my jam sophomore year. That was my jam. So you're good with numbers, huh, Sandra? You said algebra.
Indeed, algebra was my favorite. I mean, I went all the way up to pre-calculus, but I love math in general, math and science.
Makes sense. Pre-cal. Nice. Very nice. Science and math. Mm-hmm. Doctor, caretaker. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Alia, what was your favorite subject?
English, art, history, and music. I love art and music the most. Non-academic wise, but academic wise, it was definitely English and history. Um, I wish, the curriculum was different, but you gotta learn what they teach you, quote unquote. But I personally, how can I put it? I personally look at the past as a blueprint to what it could change in today's world. So that's just me. Art, I was able to express myself and feel fulfilled in a good surrounding. But that's just me. I didn't really have too many experiences with school like that.
What do you mean you didn't have many experiences with school? I don't understand.
Oh, so granted, I completed elementary school, 8th grade. I dropped out of high school, uh, my sophomore/junior year, so there wasn't really much of me to. I don't really remember much of high school too well. Um, Not in a large grand context, but yeah. Um, I didn't go to prom, ring dance. I didn't have a cotillion, but then again, I didn't want the cotillion part. I did did again, just did art, and that was really it. I kind of skipped school, so yeah, I don't really have quote unquote that many experiences with school like that. Sad to say, you know.
Okay, see, that's why I'm doing an adult prom. And you know what? I was going to start an annual spring dance and an annual adult prom, right? So the spring dance probably going to happen sometime in April, and then adult prom in August. And then I was thinking of some type of ball, like snow, like winter ball, right? In December. So all of them like 4 months apart, quarterly, right? Right? Isn't that quarterly? If it's in the forest, right? April, August,
Right.
October,
And
November, December. Yeah, 4 months. 4 months apart on each one. What were you saying?
yeah, I know that you're doing adult prom, and I said to myself, Leah, you should have tried to go because you didn't even you never had the experience like that. But then knowing my little bad booty self, something's gonna crack off and I ain't gonna go. but I'm going to speak to existence to give me the opportunity to go. You know, speak positive into my life.
Wait, what's your fear of coming? What do you mean?
Oh no, I don't have fear of coming. What I'm saying is just like my car situation. I said something might crack off, which might prevent me from coming, but it's not that I don't want to come or fear of coming. You know.
I understand. Life is in a power of tongue. I'm pretty sure if you really want to come, you can come. But it doesn't have to be this year, maybe next year. I'm going to do it every year. This is the whole reason why I do it. For one, a lot of us was not able to take who we really wanted on prom. Okay, number two, a lot of us, and before that reason, a lot of us didn't really enjoy our prom like that. Number three, for those who wasn't able to go to prom, and four, just to reinvent it. Okay, because we should have been able to say, I'm taking Lisa to prom. Damn it. Okay, now I think these kids can do that. They have no idea what it was like for us who couldn't, though. Right? So that's why I do what I do. That's why we're going to do these annual events. Make sure everyone has the life experiences that they want and deserve. Right? So, Sandra, I do definitely hope that you get a chance to come. I know you're saying that your parents may be a little strict about it, overprotective about it, but I definitely do hope you come. In the last few wind downs and sit downs, you wasn't able to engage much. I can tell you were kind of exhausted, but it's very nice to reconnect with you. Your engagement was stellar tonight. Appreciate you, Sandra. Thank you. But all right, let's go ahead and wrap this wind down up. I am ready to take my shower and lay next to my babies. I truly enjoyed you all tonight. Thank you all for your energy, transparency, and time. Totally do appreciate each and every one of you. And you know how we end the wind down? Always. Lady Antoinette, I love you. I'm proud of you. You've been going out more and you've been making better decisions. Keep up the good work. And go ahead and get Kindred Chaos on YouTube. That's the goal. All right. Anyone else? Never any pressure. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'll just say this. I do appreciate everybody coming through today and at the wind down, the dialogue itself. We all share some very insightful and wisdom tonight, and I hope we continue to do that and not be so easily discouraged by heathens and the mishaps that happen. So I do appreciate everybody, and I want everyone to be safe and mentally still here with us and not zoned out through to life. So that's just how I feel. And I love everybody and
Okay.
myself.
And
Right.
I was going to ask if I could close out the wind down with a prayer.
Thank you for bringing it up because we supposed to have prayed in that moment, Sandra. I asked everybody if they was ready, and nobody said nothing, so I didn't pray. We definitely can definitely close out the wind down with the prayer. I absolutely love that. Are you going to lead?
Sure. All right, dear Heavenly Father, we come to you saying thank you, Father God, for allowing us to be able to come together, Father God, and share ideas and thoughts and feelings and emotions and have a safe space to just be ourselves, Father God. We ask that you continue to be a part of our everyday lives, Father God, and guide us and lead us in the way that your will tells us we should be going. Allow us to be obedient and be able to hear you, Father God, and just put your hedge of protection around every single last one of us, Father God. Touch us in a very special way and allow us to feel your presence throughout the day, be able to be a light for others, and let you be our priority in everything that we do. Continue to grow us and mold us and teach us how to be better and more like you, Father God. It's these things we pray in your sweet Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. I received that. Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you. I love you all with the love of God, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Until next time, be well.
Good
Yeah,
night.
good
Love
night,
y'all.
good night,
Good night.
everyone. Love you. Be
Love you
safe.
all too. Good night. Be safe. Sweet dreams.
May angels kiss your eyelids.
Oh, you too now, Sandra. Night, y'all.
Night.